Man Cavers, and what are we doing today? We're going to sort out the petrol tank for the Bonser, and a little sweetener as well. After last night's video about the evaporust, several of you are asking, will this spark plug now undo? We'll try this before we do anything. Then we're going to get into taking whatever is... I think I can hear stuff in there. Oof. We're going to take whatever's out of there. And yeah, we'll be back. Roll the credits. Welcome to the Man Cave. Let the games begin. So before we start, let's see if this spark plug that we had in evaporust. If you remember the last time I tried this, before we put it in the evaporust, it was starting to round the edges off. That would not come undone. So I'm going to use, I believe, the same spanner, this adjustable. Will it undo now it's been in evaporust? Cool. It is, look. That would not undo before. Has it actually cleaned the threads on this? Do you know it has? Look at that. It has even cleaned them threads all the way down. And that's been out of the evaporust about a week now. Let me just give that a wipe with my cleanest dirty rag. And see what else it's done, if anything. Look how that's cleaned that electrode up. That is pretty much like a damn brand new plug. All this thread, even though this was still all done, it's cool. And several of you did comment, while we're on the subject of the evaporust, several of you commented that, oh, you can do the same thing with citric acid. You can. Citric acid is also very good at removing rust, but it's also very good at removing the surface area of the metal as well. Citric acid will and does eat into the base metal if you leave it in there long enough. Evaporust, I'm not sponsored by these guys, but I've been doing some research on it, and evaporust is pH neutral. I think that's a pH of 6.5, so it's virtually neutral. So it will do no harm to base metals. Whereas citric acid, you know, I feel confident about actually using this old 8-con plug. I feel confident now that that would work. I mean, that has just cleaned the whole thing up. Amazingly. No scrubbing, just dipping that in evaporust for 24 hours. And it's been out of there, what, a week now? And it's come up like a brand new plug. Anyhow, we're getting off subject. So yes, you can get rust off with citric acid, but if you care about your base metal, it's not recommended because that stuff is, well, acid. Whereas, there you go. Whereas, evaporust is pH neutral. Anyhow, let's get on with this tank. Alright, like I say, there is stuff in here. I think first thing I'm going to do is take off this electrical panel so I can get rid of these switches, because we need to trim off that bottom piece of tin as well. Top piece I'm leaving on because we're going to use that to affix it to the Bonser. There we go, we've got all this electrics out of the way now. Marvellous. Right, so here's our tank. There are our screws. We'll put them somewhere safe. There we are. Right. Oh yeah. Definitely stuff in there. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Right. I think I need to get a screwdriver across that. Oh, don't break the tabs. That's the one. Cool. Don't break them tabs. There you go. Oh, that is tight. Oh, look at the state of that. Manky. Oh, Jesus. Oh, that seriously smells of deck stain. Oh, man, that is... oh, dear. Oh, man. Right, before we do, I'm going to shake this tank about a bit just to get any sediment stirred up. Because we want to clean this tank right out. Oh, that stinks. Oh, that seriously smells. Can you see what I'm doing there? You can. I would hate to think what colour this is going to be. Oh, look at that. Oh, that is gross. Oh, that seriously stinks. Honestly, you could strip paint with that. Oh, man. Oh, that is seriously manky. Right, we're going to put that in our little tub of stale fuel, because I'll use this for cleaning. Stale is not the word. This is absolutely awful. I could have used a bit of a bigger funnel, couldn't I? But I do want to see if there's any sediment in that. And there is. Yeah, this was a clean jar. And we're getting sort of, yeah. There is a bit of sediment there. There you go. You can see it all stuck to the inside of the jar. So I think... Oh, of course, I'm going to have to go out this shed in a minute. That seriously reeks. Right, there's a little bit of petrol because there's a lip on there. There's a bit of petrol I can't get out. So let's, what's this tab on here? Oh, it says leaded. So that takes leaded petrol. This look leaded. Okay. Alright, let's give this thing a snip. I'm going to keep the tab, but I am going to cut off the twisty wiry bit. There we go. There you go. We can keep this original leaded tab in the box of spare parts. Alright, let's see if we can get this tap undone. Nope. Next size up, Ben. Nope. Next size up, Ben. There we go. Oh. Oh. There we go. So let's spin our tap out. Look at our strainer, because I did turn this tap on when it was actually on the machine and couldn't get anything out of it. So I think we're going to have to strip this tap. There we go. I've got the rest out of the tank. I think I will put a handful of shingle in this tank and some water and give it a shake about for a few minutes and empty it out again just to get any loose stuff out. But for the minute, we're going to leave this. I'm going to put that outside to air and then we'll do this tank. Oh, that stinks. I've actually just looked inside that tank in daylight, and it was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It really is. Right, now let me get my spanners sorted. That's the one. And we need to try and strip this tap. Let's get this in the vise. We've got to take that little screw out while I get this olive off. Give this tap a good clean. So we'll just give that a little nip. Oh yeah, that all comes undone, look. And we'll just see. Yeah, let's see where the crap is. Oh, brake cleaner smells so nice. There's a tiny little hole through there, but it isn't good. Let me snip this old bit of petrol pipe off what's on here. Because there is an old manky piece of petrol pipe. We need to get that off. There you go. Then we can split this all together and clean all this up. Here we are. I'm going to get that on the wire wheel. But I want to try and save on this cork gasket what's on there. Instead of wire wheeling that. Oh no, no need to wire wheel, look. That's all coming off with a really gentle wire brush. Oh, that's cleaned up brilliant. There you go. Yeah, that's cleaned up really well. Let me get this little brass bit cleaned up. And I think we'll strip this tap. Does that even push in and out? Oh, that is really... Oh, that's come now. That was really tarred up. Let's see if we can get this little screw out. Hopefully that screw will come out. Come on. There we go. Is that coming? Yeah. There we go. Screw us out. There we are. Oh! Look at the mankiness. There we go. There is our problem. Look at that. You know, I think someone's put PTFE tape around that. So I think we need to put... Oh, that is manky. I think we need to put another cork around that. Now, if I remember rightly, did I not have another tap in a bag up here already done? What's in here, look? Is this not a tap what I've already done? It is, but I think that was for something else because that's got a wrong tail on it. It doesn't really matter. Does that screw on there? That does. So we could rebuild this tap. No, we'll rebuild this tap. I've got a new cork. Look, this was obviously built for something else. I think I remember doing that for something else. But we will put a new cork in here. Whoa! That one's fell out. Now, if I remember rightly, we need to tap this centre pin in a vise, and that will push this pin out so we can slide this cork off. There we are. Now this will slide up and down in the vise so the bottom piece isn't touching. We need to get a small punch and try and tap that middle through there. I need a slightly heavier hammer than that. I don't think a soft blow is what's needed. Alright, here comes the claw hammer. You guys do like my claw hammer. There you go, that's going. Oh, I think we're fouling the end up. Right. Oh, that's coming, look. That's coming. I don't want to give that too much stick, so I don't want to... There we go. You don't want to sort of flare this end up, so really gentle. And we slide this off. There you go, and there's our old... Well, that ain't even cork, this is rubber. So let's hope a new cork goes on. A cork does go on. So that's our new cork. Hang on, there's a line in there. I'm going to put this cork. See, that ain't been cut very neat, that end. So I'm going to put that in this way so we've got the good end facing inwards. There we go. There we go. Right. I think we need to clean all this stuff up in a wire wheel here. Where's my wire wheel? There it is. I'll clean all that up in there, and then we'll get this thing back together. Alright, man cavers, we are back with our tank, which I have now rinsed out. I put some shingle in there and some half filled it with water. Give it a good shake about for about 10 minutes. Emptied it out, and the water what came out was surprisingly clean. I then put about, I don't know, half a pint of petrol back in there just to disperse any water. Shook that about and then emptied it into our waste drum. And our tank is now looking, I don't know whether you can see in there very well. It's not brilliant, but all the loose is out. I don't think we're going to get much cleaner than that. That isn't too bad. We can live with what's in there, guys. there's no other real way to clean these tanks out any better, if I'm honest. Or not ones that I know of. Now, that's all coming out of there quite clean, if I'm honest. Tell you what we will do. There was some sediment in this jug. Let's wipe this jug out. Do that again. Just to make sure no sediment is coming out of that. Now look, perfectly clean. So there's no sediment coming out of that. So that tells me the tank's clean enough. And it's quite a solid tank as well. There don't appear to be any rust in it. Or where you can't see still isn't rusty. So I think, yeah, we have a good, honest, not bashed about, straight tank. Now in here I have petrol. There's the new, or our rebuilt tap and the petrol cap in there. So that's soaking to get everything swelled up. They can stay in there. Basically we need to get this tank ready for paint. Because we want to give this a nice coat of red oxide like we did our engine. And I'll tell you, there's something else we want to do. This is going to go on the Bonser. This piece, which has got our switch on, that's going to sit to my left-hand side. It's got a single seat, if you remember. We have our seat pan. There's our seat box. Our seat pan is like, say, this bit of tape. So the petrol tank's going to go on this side, hanging over the edge. Do you know what I mean? So that'll be like this, and I'll be sitting sort of here, if that makes sense. So we'll be using these mountings here to bolt it on from the top. Our ignition switch will be here, so I'll be able to just lean right, put the switch on, push the button, off you'll go. But at the bottom here, we need to cut this piece sort of quite a bit off, because we don't really need it, because you won't get this bit on the Bonser either, because the seat pan only got about an inch gap, and then there's a solid end come down, so this bit will have to be whizzed off with the grinder. So yeah, I think I'll be cutting this off now. I'll mark it, but I'll do it off camera. I think the best way to do that, to ensure that we've got a straight edge there, is cut it to a bit of tape. So I think if we go on this end here, up to these slotted holes, up to the end of the slotted hole, there you go. I think here is a straight enough edge. There. Because tape might come off, you see, but if we just do that, there you go. We've got a straight edge there now, where I can get the grinder on and cut along, to ensure we have a straight edge. And then we'll rub all this down and get her painted. Let me get this trimmed off. There we go. That is our edge neatly trimmed off there. Excellent. So we've got a nice edge there now. We need to give that a deburr. But yeah, once that's deburred, that'll be a nice edge, and this will now sit on our Bonser and it'll rest on the side on that. Excellent stuff. Right, let me get this deburred. Right, so now we've got this deburred, we'll get a little sanding block, go over this whole thing. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Right, I think I can be sanding. This is going to be a slow job. Ain't too bad. I'll be back when I've got this sanded down, because that could take a while. And don't worry, I will be rinsing that tank out again afterwards to get the dust out. So there we are, there's our petrol tank stripped. There we are, all down to nice shiny metal. Why does that cap keep popping off that lid? It's the second time now that jar of petrol has popped that lid off. Must be pressure build up. Right, so what we're going to do, wipe over that with your cleanest dirty rag. In fact, I'm being serious here. We're now going to spray this with red oxide primer, so it does need to be quite spotless. So I do want this tank to look quite nice, because that's going to be very much on display on the machine. So although this isn't the cleanest rag I'm using here at the minute, we'll go over this in a minute with brake clean and a really clean cloth, and that will take all the contaminants off. So let me get a clean grease free rag, which will be this flannel. Right, just give him a bit of brake clean. There you go, and give him a wipe. You ought to try and avoid fingerprints on it as well. When you get into this stage, try and avoid touching it. Right, we want to paint the underside first. And then we can flip it over when that's dry, and that'll sit on that bottom like so, so we can paint the top. But at the minute, we want to concentrate our efforts on just painting this underside here, then we can get that flipped over. So we'll get our red oxide. That only wants a slight coat. You don't want too much, just one little coat. I'll do the bloody ends while we're here, look. That's the ends done. There you go. Give that one little more little bit. There you go. That should dry in a matter of, well, seconds. Then we'll flip it over and do the other bit. Right. I think we can be flipping this over now and giving the rest of it just a light coat. We're not rubbing this down, so as long as that's covered, that will do us. There we go. Let's spin him round. Look at that. That is perfect. There we go. That is our tank with a nice coat of red oxide. Excellent stuff. So that is now ready for top coat. But that will not be today, because I've got to do that down Man Cave HQ. We're at, well, Little Man Cave, not Big Man Cave. So we'll take this down. The engine's already down there. So the engine's already down there and ready. I will have to just do that little switch panel, do the same thing to that. But yeah, once that's done, we can be getting that down. And I think, well, then I think we need to get some paint on the actual chassis. And then we can think about bolting this engine on. Right. That is going to be it for this video. Hope you've enjoyed the tank restoration and the little nugget there of that spark plug, which did undo and look mint inside after being in the evapor rust. Right, that's it, guys. I will see you next time for another video. Thanks very much for watching. Like and subscribe. And if you click the little like button twice, you'll get the little bell come up. And if you click on all or whatever, you'll be notified when I put a new video up. So yes, see you later on, guys. Bye-bye for now. Ha-ha!